All right, so for those of you who are watching the recording, this is how to increase conversion with open house leads. And what we're going to be covering today is going over tools that you have in Command that will help you increase your conversion with open houses. So when I first got into business with KW, I would have open houses, and I got to a point where I was really good at getting the signs out and getting people visiting and getting signups. And I would get like, 5 to 10 leads, and I was excited. Um, most of them were pretty viable. I would put them into whatever database I had at the time. We're talking like 15 years ago. And I would, of course, call them right away on Monday. I would collect the leads and everything, on that weekend, and then on Monday I would call, and maybe I'll text them, and maybe I'll do a follow-up phone call. But then what happens? Life happens, right? All of a sudden you have a buyer that wants to go out and look at properties, and then you have a listing you got to take, and then life just happens at home and whatnot. And then all of a sudden those leads, you kind of forget about them. They kind of drop through the cracks. Um, and then all of a sudden you go a year later and you're looking through your database and you see like 150 people who you forgot to contact or didn't follow up. And there was one particular story, now, Ramon, I'll tell you this, where I remember I was going through my database years later, and there was one particular person I saw because they have a very unique name. And to torture myself, I wanted to see in the public records, hey, did they end up buying a house? I remember I had a conversation with them and then I didn't follow up. And sure enough, I saw that they not only bought a home like 6 months after I stopped following up with them. So I could have had them as a client. Years later, they sold that home. And then after that, they when they sold their home, they bought another property. And then the agent that helped them with purchasing the home, um, not only helped them with the purchase of the home, helped them with the sale of their home, and double ended that sale, plus helped them with a subsequent purchase. So that's
Wow.
basically 4 deals that I basically potentially could have had if I would have followed up with them. So that was definitely a learning lesson for me about follow-up is really important. As we say in Keller Williams, the fortune's in the follow-up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a tool using this property here in Lodi to basically establish a way to make sure that the people that you collect in the open house basically get contacted and increases your conversion.
Cool.
So the first thing I want to show you is an awesome tool that is in the Command website. We're looking at this property here on 347 South Sunset Drive in Lodi. You see here we have the URL. This is to my agent site. And what we can do with Command is if I simply type in open house, all one word at the end of that URL, and I hit enter, we give it about 5 to 10 seconds. It's going to convert this client-facing listing page for this property. In a few moments, it's going to magically turn it into a sign-in form for that property. So let's say, for example, that Ramon, who's on the call here, is doing an open house for this agent. He can utilize his Command website, put an open house at the end of that URL, and all of a sudden, boom, here is the open house form, as you can see here. This can be something you could put on an iPad, this particular page, put it on the table to display, and then tell people when they come in, hey, thank you for coming to the open house. Please feel free to sign in on this form. If you prefer paper, which is great, like a paper sign-in, that's fine. Use a paper sign-in, and in between visits, just have this open on your laptop and then put in the name of the client into this form. The reason why this is advantageous is because what's going to happen is that when this information goes in, gets filled out, it goes right into Command automatically. So
Cool.
there's not the need to have a double data entry. And what I want to be showing you in a few moments, when this form gets filled out, automatically they're going to receive a text from you saying, hey, thank you for visiting me at the open house. And then a whole set of chain of events are going to occur over the next couple of weeks where they're going to automatically be contacted via email, via text. They're going to be sent a drip of homes for sale in that open house area. And of course, you'll be automatically notified to contact them on a timely basis.
Nice.
Then At the end of that whole process, if you don't get a hold of them, it will automatically put them into a monthly call plan so that on a monthly basis, you'll be always reminded to call them. And that right there is where it's going to increase the follow-up and the lead conversion. Because instead of like what happened with me with open house leads where they fall through the crack, Command's going to always remind you to say, hey, contact them constantly. And at the same time, they're getting these drips of homes for sale in that neighborhood, as well as other forms of contact. So we're going to go ahead and cover that right now. So let's go ahead and dive in.
Okay.
If we go into Command, as you can see here, this is the dashboard. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on smart plans. And we're going to focus on one particular smart plan. Now, what we're going to do is we want to make sure before we get started with the smart plan that you have one key component set up. If you go here to where your name is in Command and then go down to settings, and you go all the way down to the bottom here of settings, make sure you have Twilio set up. And what Twilio is a third-party app that integrates to Command. And it gives you the ability to basically have Command text automatically for you. You can choose a phone number. It has to be a different phone number than your cell number, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. The cool thing is you can choose a number based on what area you're in. So if it's 209, you could put 209 in there. If you have a different area code, that's fine as well. And then the cost for it, if you do the 300 credits, is $3.16 a month. Very nominal. So very affordable. If you do double the amount of credits, then it's like $5.36 or 32 cents, whatever it is. And then just double the price, double the credits. Each credit, basically, it's going to be one text, 160 characters or less. If you do more than that, it's 2 credits. So basically, you can do anywhere between 300 to 150 texts a month for just $3.16. And this, you want to make sure you have this tool utilized so that way when you do the smart plan with that text that goes out that says, hey, thank you for visiting me at the open house, that text component is going to work. Okay. And of course, it will have the capacity where if they want to dial the number, it will automatically forward to your cell number. So there you go. So there's that. Okay, by the way, if you have any questions about setting up Twilio, please contact me after the class or so forth. I'll be more than happy to help you set that up. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to go to library. So this is my smart plans. It's typically what houses smart plans that are preloaded on your Command. Or if you don't have any, that's fine. You can go to library. And library in smart plans is basically like the Amazon marketplace of all the smart plans that either been curated by KW or mostly curated by other agents like myself. I myself have published 32 smart plans. So in order to find that open house smart plan I created, that's going to help increase conversion. What you're going to do is hit the filter button first right here. Then we're going to go to where it says author, and we're going to type in my name. Just put Jeff M. My name will pop up. Hit filter results. And then here we are. Then what you can do is you can either search for that open house plan. If you like, you can do that. That's one way of doing it. Or just type in open, because we already got it filtered to me. And then there it is right here. This is a smart plan that we're going to talk about today. That's the Open House Comprehensive Follow-Up Plan 3.0. I call it 3.0 because my third iteration of doing it. I'll probably do a new version for 2025. That'll come out at the end of the year. So, and the reason why is because I have a monthly newsletter that's attached to the smart plan. So I come out with a new newsletter every month, every year. So here are the steps. If we click on view steps right there, here is what the plan looks like. As you can see, it runs for 30 days, as you can see here. And on day 1, once this smart plan gets attached to that contact who's an open house lead, the first thing that's going to occur is going to tell you to do something. Add the neighborhood of the open house. Okay, so that's basically, and I'll talk about in a second what that looks like. And what you want to do is you want to add the neighborhood that this open house belongs to, right? So in this particular case, if I click on neighborhood right here, it's part of the Vinewood neighborhood. And if we explore the Vinewood neighborhood, you'll see that it shows all the properties for sale in that neighborhood. It also shows a market snapshot of that neighborhood specifically. And the reason why we want to do that, add that neighborhood to that contact, is that over here, on day 3, it's going to launch the biweekly neighborhood nurture. It's an automated email that goes out every 2 weeks that will have information on that neighborhood specifically. So it's something you don't have to worry about. That smart plan will automatically launch. So again, what makes this plan awesome is that you launch this one plan and it does the rest for you automatically. You don't have to worry about doing different things except for making the call and adding that neighborhood to the house. Would that make sense?
Yes, it's everything's automated. After that, you start entering and adjusting the details. Everything's automated.
Yeah, pretty much. So the first thing it's going to do is add a neighborhood to the open house to that contact. After that, you're good to go. You're done. Because then right after that, it's going to send out that text. Hey, Ramon, thanks for coming by. It was nice meeting you at the open house. Let me know how I can help your home search. Jeff Menendez Homes, and it has a link to my app. Now, you'll notice how it has this contact first name kind of like in green here. That's because I made this plan ready to go out of the box. And that is it's going to autofill with the name of the person and autofill with the name of the agent using this smart plan. So you don't have to worry about modifying the text or any of that. It's all ready to go. Then at the same time, it's going to send an email on the first day saying, hey, nice to meet you at the open house, and has details on it. Then on day 2, you're going to get an automatic task to call that person. Then on day 3, because you already went ahead and added that neighborhood to the open house to the contact, it's going to automatically launch that neighborhood nurture. That's going to go out every 2 weeks automatically. Don't have to worry about that. Then on the same day, it says here, hey, there are a few listings hitting the market this week. Would you like me to send you a list? Right? Which you are with this right here. That list is going to go out anyway. Then on day 4, it's going to have to promote the app. So your own consumer app that you have to share with your clients that can search for homes is going to launch another smart plan to the side. And then it's going to send out an email and 2 texts promoting the app. And automatically, it's going to have the link that's tied to you. You don't have to worry about that. It's already done for you. Day 5, another phone call reminder. Day 8, another text goes out. How are you doing, Ramon? Just want to check in and see if you're available to see any homes I sent. And then it has my information. Then finally on day 10, it puts you in that puts that contact, into a monthly call plan. So from that point forward, if you don't get a hold of them, then automatically you're going to be getting a reminder on a monthly basis to follow up with them.
Cool.
Then from there on day 15, it's going to put them into a buyer education plan. It's like a 6-week email that goes out about how things work buying a home. And then finally on day 30, it puts into a monthly email newsletter for 1 year. So for 1 year, they're going to get a pre-made, ready to go email newsletter with your branding on it. So it's going to go on for there. So let's do the math here. If we have that biweekly email nurture, that means you're going to be touching them via email with this plan 24 times in 1 year.
Yes.
Then, besides the phone calls here, if you put them into a monthly call plan, that's 12. So that puts us at 36 times. Then add 6 to that, that's 42. And then you add the 12 emails here, and that's 54 touches in 1 year. You don't think that's going to cause at least some conversion if you have 150 people that you meet in an open house in a given year? I would say so.
100%.
So the cool thing is that all you have to do is click on Add Smart Plan and add this to your library. Now, what I want to show you is how to attach the smart plan so that when they basically filled out this form, or if you filled out that form for them, let's give it a second here for this to come out. I'm going to show you how to automate this whole process right here. So what we're going to do, and this is very important, is we're going to go to the back end of command. And what we're going to do is going to click up here and go into settings right there. Then the next thing we're going to do is up here where it says command settings, we're going to click on the little drop down, and this will show us more options. Then we're going to click on contacts, and this will show us a bunch of stuff. What we're going to focus on is the part that says lead management. We're going to click on that. Now you'll notice that I already have a rule that I created. And what we're going to accomplish here is that anytime someone fills out this form right here, it's going to automatically launch that open house smart plan once you download it. That's what we're going to accomplish. And the way to do that is we're going to click on create rule. And we're going to type in here open house or whatever you want to call it. And then this right here is the other important part. We're going to determine what the lead source is. And I'm going to show you. And by the way, I'm recording this video. By the way, it's going to be available on the Market Center. We're going to click here and we're going to type in open house. Because what I want to do is I want to make sure that anytime there's an open house related lead source, that's going to make an action happen. So in this case, I'm going to click here that. I'm going to type in open house again. Click that. And I'm going to make sure that anything that says open house, it's going to happen. There. And then now I can also auto tag that lead. So if I want to auto tag them open house, I can do that. If you don't have open house as a tag, you can click on create custom tag right here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to type in buyer and put buyer there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign, if people sign in through that form, I want to then have them be assigned a smart plan automatically. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to type in open house. There is my comprehensive follow-up plan right there. I'm going to check that and I'm good to go. And all I got to do is create rule. Once I do that, that's it. You're good to go. Now, all you have to do is make sure that you have this form set up in your agent website. And then once they fill out this information, then boom, automatically they're going to get that smart plan launched. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So now we're going to click on, well, I'm not going to create rule because I already have it already. So it's right here, as you can see. There's my tags, there's my lead source, and there's that. And Ramon, we're going to use you as a guinea pig here. We're going to see how this works. So I'm going to type in Ramon. What's your last name? Is it Cervantes, I think, or what's your last name?
Yes, Cervantes, Cervantes.
And give me your real email, Ramon.
My KW or my my
Whatever email. Let's do your personal, your business one, the one that you have.
Okay, let's do Ramon Cervantes at kw.com.
And then Ramon, what's your phone number?
209-809-7546.
Now, the other cool thing I'm going to show you here, by the way, if you have this set up for people to sign in, by the way, there's no wrong here. If you want to have this so they can fill it out, great. If you want to do it where you have more control and they fill out a form and then you do this in between visits, that's fine too. Either way is fine. But if you do elect for them to sign on their own, this is a cool feature that exists. It comes up with a QR code. So now what happens is they can say, hey, if you want to get a flyer, please sign in on my iPad. And then they can scan that QR code and takes them to the property information on their phone with you, the agent, being the point of contact. Doesn't matter that it's listed by someone else.
That's pretty cool.
Ramon, check your phone.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Oh yeah, got it.
And what's it say, Ramon?
Hey Ramon, thanks for coming by. It was nice meeting you at the open house. Let me know how I can help you with your home search. Jeff.
And just so we know, I'm going to put you here on screen here on the recording, Ramon. Can you show me your phone?
Yes. Okay, 1 second.
No, I was like, you're doing the other right there. Yeah, look at that. You see that, guys? I'm not lying. That's right there. The automated text. You'll see there it has a little disclaimer there. Obviously, any subsequent text won't have the disclaimer anymore. And so you're fully covered. There's a link to my app. There's my name and my team and all of that. Good to go. And Ramon, go ahead. Thank you, sir. Can you go ahead and see? I'm assuming your email. You got an email as well?
Email. Oh yeah. Let me just double check. Give me 1 second.
And while he's doing that, you don't have to show me the email. That's totally fine.
Yeah, I have it on my iPad.
Yeah. Now, at the same time, are you seeing my screen here again? Showing my command. Perfect. Okay. At the same time, if I click here and the notification bell, look at this. I have a notification that leads come in. Now I can click on view contact. It shows me Ramon's information. As you can see here, you can see that it already has the text that went out. You'll see here it has the email that went out. You'll see that tells me what property this open house was about and all of that. It's all there, as you can see,
Nice.
all done automatically. Now, you'll notice that I have the smart plan already assigned automatically. Here it is, right? I didn't add the smart plan that was done for me automatically, but I do have a task, right? I have to add the neighborhood of the open house. So how do I do that? Well, what you're gonna do is I'll go ahead and grab that address. Give me a second here. We're gonna grab that address, which we should have memorized if you're holding the open house. And what I'm gonna do is you see how I have Ramon's information here, right? And I'm gonna click here, add neighborhood. So I'm gonna click on add neighborhood and I'm gonna click on find on map. So I click here, I'm gonna put in the address of the property right there, 347 South Sunset Drive in Lodi. And then it takes me right there with the map of all the neighborhoods. You see that there?
Mhm.
Then, in order for me to pick the neighborhood that corresponds to that property, I'm gonna zoom in. And as I zoom in, you'll see more neighborhoods will pop in. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna click on the map itself. You see there's Vinewood, and then boom. Now Vinewood gets added there. You see that?
Yeah.
And from here, I hit save, and then boom, there is Vinewood right there, just like that. Now that neighborhood has been added to his contact card. So from this point forward, I'm pretty much done, and Command's going to do the work for me. It's going to send out the text automatically. It's going to send out the emails automatically, and I'm going to get a task to be reminded to call him tomorrow, in 4 or 5 days, in 7 days, and then on day 10, when it goes into a monthly neighborhood nurture, it's going to put him into that monthly call, and then boom, we're off and running. And now I can click right here, this button right here, that's a check mark to complete the task because I've gone ahead and completed that task, add the neighborhood. And that's pretty much how you do it. And that, my friends, is how you can increase your conversion with open house leads.
Nice. I have a question, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Right now, this neighborhood thing that you just did, this is a neighborhood within where they're looking at, right? So within Lodi.
This is a neighborhood that's specific to this property.
That's specific to this property. Got it. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Now, that's a great question you bring up, Ramon, because guess what? If you feel compelled, you could, in a sense, say, you know what? I'm also going to add other neighborhoods that surrounds that property. So you could, if you know the area, can say, you know what? I'm going to pick Hutchins Street Square. I'm going to pick Reese. I'll pick these surrounding neighborhoods. So you could pick multiple neighborhoods, hit save, it'll add those neighborhoods to it. Now, what's going to happen is that an email that's going to go out tomorrow or in a few days, it's going to take them to the neighborhood and it's going to look like this. And the cool thing is the neighborhood's going to be tied to your website. So if they do see a drip of homes for sale in the neighborhood and gives them all the Market Snap information, the cool thing is as they look at these different listings that exist in a neighborhood, it's going to then be within your website. So if they look at any listing that they're interested in, even though it's listed by someone else, you're the point of contact. You'll be the person who they're going to basically get a hold of to basically find out what's going on with those properties.
Nice. That's nice. Okay.
Any other questions?
No. I mean, this is really self-explanatory, pretty much.
Yeah, I think this has been, I've got a lot of feedback from agents and they love this tool because it basically automates the whole process, especially when you utilize a tool like this where they can sign in and they don't have to worry about like, how do I get the data entry this in? Because you can basically data entry this through this process, whether you have it on an iPad on a table for them to do automatically for themselves, or if you have your check-in paper sign-in sheet that has been done for years, you can still utilize that. And then, like I said, in between visits on their behalf, just put in their information here, and then they're going to then start the smart plan automatically. So,
Nice.
all right, to wrap up the class, a couple of things. Actually, hold on. I meant to share screen again. Hold on one second.
Okay.
here is a link tree to command resources. So I'm gonna put this in the chat here, Ramon. I think I may have given you this link already, but I'll put this in the chat anyhow.
Okay.
This is the linktree.com/Jeff MCTT. It has a bunch of command resources, solutions, how to master command in 66 days, and also a link to my calendar right here. So if you click here, it takes them to a calendar. And also, wait for this to pop in. I don't know why it's taking forever. There it is. The other thing that I have here is my classes, my class schedule. So you'll see here, if you click on the command class schedule, it has the classes I have to offer for the rest of the month. Later this month, I will release my November schedule of classes I'll
Okay.
be offering, and they're twice a month, haha, twice a week. I teach classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Mountain Time. And I do a KW orientation class if you need a refresher, or if you're new to command, I do an orientation class every Wednesday, every other Wednesday. So I'll be doing an orientation class next week. It looks like here on the 30th.
Okay.
So there you go. And that will do it.
Awesome, man. I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot, Jeff. This was